That's why I need a one dance. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more trends. Nobody makes it from my ends. I had to bust up the
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite subject. We are going to be talking about Quickweaves. I know. This video is like 2.5 years overdue. Don't judge me, girl. Don't even look at me like that. Listen, don't do it to me today, okay? It's been a long day. So I always get a lot of questions in my emails and the YouTube comments and on Instagram and wherever about Quickweaves, and unfortunately sometimes I'm not able to answer all the questions, so I'm sorry. I will be working on that, but at any rate I figured, why not make a video about it? Why not compile all those questions up into little categories and answer them all in one easy video that you can always come back to if you ever have questions. I'm never going to stop answering your questions, so if you still want to ask me questions in the YouTube comments or wherever, or email me like you normally do, that is perfectly fine. But it's always good to have a video, so let's get right into it. So one of the questions that I always get asked is, are Quickweaves healthy for your hair? Now, Quickweaves can be healthy for your hair because it is a form of a protective style. You are not touching your hair for a couple of weeks, so your hair is giving itself the opportunity to grow without being manipulated or being subjected to heat styling. So in a sense, yes, it is healthy for your hair. Now, you don't want to do Quickweaves continuously back to back to back to back, because you're not allowing your scalp or your hair time to breathe and time to rest in between, which leads me into the next question everybody has. How long can you keep in a Quickweave? You generally want to keep in a Quickweave no longer than 3 weeks. Some people can push it to 4 weeks. It's not really recommended, but in general, most of my Quickweaves, well, not most of them, all of my Quickweaves, I don't leave in any longer than 3 weeks. Anything longer than that, then you start to risk damage to your hair as your hair starts to grow out and the Quickweave starts to grow out. Also, another question that I get is the type of protection serum that I use for my hair. When I first started doing the Quickweaves on this channel, I got a lot of comments in my half-shaved tutorial about how I'm gluing it on my hair. Oh my god, why are you gluing it on your hair? And what people didn't realize is I always use a protective bond on my hair. And for those of you that are new to Quickweaves or new to my channel and you don't really do Quickweaves like that, a protective serum, especially the one that I use Robert Diamond Bond Protective Serum. It's like a very thick black licorice colored latex type of serum that you put on your hair. You let it dry underneath the dryer, and it creates this film over top of your hair, so when you glue your hair and place it on your head, there's a protective bond, a protective shield over top of your hair, so the glue is not actually touching your hair. And I feel like the protective bond is better than the other types of ways that people do Quickweaves. I know some people put paper towels underneath stocking caps and they glue over top of that. I'm not a fan of that because I feel like that suffocates the scalp. So I always use a protective bond, which creates a barrier from the glue on your hair, but it still allows your scalp to breathe. Now, there are different types of protective serums out there. I know that there's at least 4 different types of protective bonds on the market. There's one, obviously the one from Robert Diamond. There's one from Weave Wonder. And there's 2 more that I can't think of. I think one of them's called Morning Glory. That one is an older serum. I have not tried it yet, but I definitely plan on trying it though. Besides prepping your hair and moisturizing it properly, that protective barrier is one of the most important steps to your Quickweave. I do not suggest you do a Quickweave without it. I do not suggest that you glue your hair, paper towels onto your hair, but you know, if that's what you choose to do, then that's what you choose to do. No judgment here. Now, before you put your protective serum on, you definitely want to prep your hair properly. You want to make sure that your scalp is clean and clear. it's properly moisturized, because it will be covered up for about 3 weeks. You want to make sure that your hair is properly moisturized. Now, some of the stuff that I use on my hair, it's changed since I've made my Quickweave hair prep video. If you haven't checked that video out, I will definitely leave a link down below to that video so you can see how I prep my hair for my Quickweaves. And not much has changed since then, and now that video is old. The only difference is my hair is longer now, so I braid my hair up. There's some products that I don't use in there anymore. So when I prep my hair now, I like to use the As I Am Double Butter Hair Cream to moisturize my hair, as well as a little bit of coconut oil to kind of seal all that moisture in. A lot of people also want to know what type of hair that they should use on their Quickweaves, and this is all personal preference depending on what type of style you do. You can use pretty much any type of hair that you want to. Now, if you're doing a shorter style, if you're doing like a pixie cut or a short cropped layered cut, something where you're going to be doing a lot of layers, I wouldn't suggest you spend a whole bunch of money on your hair, because you're going to be throwing it away anyway. You're going to be doing so many layers, like you're not going to be able to reuse that hair. If you're doing longer styles, you can use something a little more expensive, because you're going to be using it over again. You can even use virgin hair. That's what I did in that last video with that blonde hair. I use virgin hair, and I think that's what I'm going to start doing, because I like the fact that I can get even longer use out of the hair. Using curly hair is a little bit different than straight hair. The only time I would suggest you use virgin hair for curly hair is if you're doing a longer style with minimal layering, kind of like the Poison Ivy look that I did. I reuse that hair all the time for that quick weave. But if you're doing a shorter curly hair, it's better to use the cheaper human hair or the synthetic blend hair, because you're going to be shaping it so much that you're going to end up throwing it away, so you don't want to waste your money. After you've figured out what type of hair that you're going to do and overall what style that you're going to do. So unless you're a stylist, you do not need to go crazy and buy all the fancy smancy scissors out there on the market to do your hair. So you only need 4 basic tools for cutting your hair. So if you plan on doing a lot of work with human hair, then you'll need a nice pair of scissors, preferably with Japanese steel, because these last a very long time. You can get an affordable pair of scissors at Sally's or your local beauty supply store. If you plan on using synthetic hair, now this is where you want to get a different pair of scissors. You will just need a basic pair of scissors, plasticky scissors, cheap scissors like this, because if you use synthetic hair and you try to cut your hair with a normal pair of scissors made for human hair, you will dull your blade out and ruin your scissors, because synthetic hair is a lot denser and a lot thicker than human hair, so it doesn't cut as easily. So it's just like you're, you know what I'm saying? So you're pretty much just going to be hacking at your hair with your human hair scissors, and you do not want to dull your scissors. So it's always good to have a pair of these plastic scissors, and you can get these from Sally's also. The next thing that you will need is a razor. So one of my favorite and most popular tools to use when I do my quick weaves are my hair razors. Now, depending on your experience level, you can use this type. This is my favorite type, or you can just use this good old razor. I still use this for most of my styles because it gives me more control, and it has 2 different sides. This side right here, the smaller side, is good for if you want to add texture to your hair, and this bigger side is good when you really just need to get rid of a lot of bulk in the hair. So it is always good to have your razors. These are my lifesavers. I honestly use these more than my scissors. Hopefully you can see that. So the last tool that you'll need are thinning shears. And basically what thinning shears are a pair of scissors that have these comb-like teeth in there, so it doesn't actually cut all the hair off, it cuts some of the hair. So it cuts hair certain layers. So if you have, especially when you're doing a quick weave, sometimes you have to put the tracks closer together, and sometimes that adds a lot of bulk to your hair, so you have to thin it out a little bit, and that's when the thinning shears come into play, because all you have to do is section off the hair, and starting at the bottom layers of the hair. You never want to cut the top layer with your thinning shears. You always want to cut underneath to thin out the hair. This takes out a little bit of hair at a time, so you can take out as much or as little hair as you need it to. And this is, especially if you're doing a pixie cut, this is one of the secret weapons into making your hair look natural. Because I know you've seen some, quick weave styles on the internet where it just looks really thick and bulky and just fake looking. One of the tricks to making it look thinner is thinning shears and your razor. These two together will ensure that your hair comes out super, super natural. I promise you, darling. You need this in your life. Now, I don't know if you can get thinning shears from the neighborhood beauty supply stores, but I know you can definitely get it from Sally's. My God, I feel like this is like an advertisement for Sally's, but it's not, I promise. So another one of the biggest questions that I get is, how do you maintain your quick weave? So what I do, well, this is kind of like a two-part question. It depends on how long my sides are at the time and what style that I do. If I do like the pixie cut style, or I do like the shroom haircut, basically what I do is I try not to put a lot of gel on my hair. I normally gel down my sides maybe every 2 days or so, just because when my sides are longer, I'm not able to wash them like I would if I had shaved sides. So I want to use gel sparingly on my hair. So at night, after I wash my face, come home, whatever, I'll generally I'll pin my hair up at the top, because you know how you just do the top part. I'll pin my hair up at the top, and I will brush down my sides, and I will tie them down with a mesh Velcro cap. This thing is a lifesaver. This eliminates that bump that you get on your forehead from tying the scarf around your head. I just pop this on, put the Velcro, lay it over top of each other, and how I maintain the top is I'll spray a little bit of argan oil on my hair, and I'll put the silk bonnet on, and then I go to sleep and I'm good to go. That's pretty much what I do for those types of styles. Now, if my hair is longer, or I do a shaved side style like this, my technique changes just a little bit. I purposely cut down my hair a little bit lower, so I don't really have to go through the hassle of trying to shave down my side every week, because my hair grows super, super fast. So just a FYI, if you do a side shave style like this, I suggest cutting your sides down lower than you normally would, because in about a week or so your hair will start to grow back in normal, and you know how much of a hassle it is to go to the barbershop to get one little side shaved off and tamed up or whatever. The most that I have to do to maintain it is I just have to shape up the sides, my sideburns, every couple of days, and to make sure that that side stays nice and moisturized and flake free, what I do is every 2 days or so, I'll spray my side with the Tropical Roots shampoo spray from Bonner Brothers. This is one of my holy grail hair products, especially in keeping your sides nice and clean and fresh when you're doing a quick weave style. This is basically a shampoo spray. You spray it in, and it helps to loosen up any dead skin or debris or whatever. If you start to get some flakes or whatever, takes everything away, it moisturizes it, and it leaves you with this nice mentholy feeling, nice fresh scalp feeling. I love this stuff for real, for real. Oh my God. So yeah, guys, that is our little gab session, our little mini Q&A session on all things quick weave style related. I hope I answered all of your questions. If I didn't, if you feel like I missed something or you have more questions, leave it down below and I will get back to you guys as soon as possible. Definitely make sure to thumbs up this video if you liked it, and I will talk to you guys later.